my name is Shayla, and today I'm here to decide which of these two bullet journals will be my primary bullet journal for 2020. I watched about a dozen different videos about different journals and to figure out which one would be best for me. And for my price range, these two ended up kind of being cream of the crop for me. So I've got a wide variety of pens here that I end up using. So we'll use that as a test, and then we'll go through the features of each. So let's start with the Scribbles That Matter journal. It comes in a nice little box here. And I got it in this really pretty periwinkle color. I do wish the strap was a slightly different color, if I'm honest, because I don't feel like this matches the aesthetic of this. I would have rather had like a black one, or maybe even like a white or a silver one, but I think that's just semantics and personal preference here. So let's go ahead and dig into the actual journal here. So it came very nicely packaged, as you saw, with the box and then the extra plastic. And then we do have the wraparound here as well. So it does have the outside strap as well as a pen holder, which my current journal doesn't, which I like that feature. So it has a started and ended date there. We have a key at the front, which is great because you can color code things for the entire journal. And then you have a bullet code and your index, which I really like. I haven't seen many keys like that in journals. And the index is nice and long, so you can have as many things in the journal as you want. The dot color is prominent, but not overly prominent to me. I'll take some close-ups, obviously. This one is numbered in the corners, which I do really like. I prefer a numbered journal for sure. We do have a pen test page, so we'll do that in a moment. And then you've got a little mindfulness moment there, and it does have a pocket at the back, like most bullet journals. And when it comes to the bookmark/marks, there are two. So you can have one at like yearly things that you do every month, and then one at your current month, which I do really like. So let's go ahead and do this pen test. So I've got the zebra midliner here. I'm just going to write my name a bunch of times. I'm going to use both ends of this so I can see if one is more potent than the other. I've also got my Tombow Twin Tone. I did bring out a Copic for a test just to kind of see what would happen if I ever decided to use it. I wouldn't ever really use the other side in a bullet journal. And then I do have my Stabilo pen. This is a 68, so it's the thicker tip. And I did bring a Sharpie because that is the ultimate test. And then I do have my Le Plume to Marby. I'm not the best calligrapher, obviously. And then I have my Staedtler Tripos Fineliner. So now that we've written all of those, I think the Staedtler will be just fine. So the only thing that really bled through on that was the Copic, which is kind of what I was expecting. Like even the Sharpie didn't go through really on that one. So that's really impressive. I don't expect to use Copics directly in a journal very often, but I like to use it as kind of a test to see the durability of the page. So that so far is a huge win because the stuff that I would be using regularly in it aren't an issue, obviously, and that leaves me 155 pages of usability in here, which is really exciting, and I really like the feel of the outside of the journal as well. It's got this nice kind of faux leather, and it does have a little bit of the cutesy on the back, and the spine is really nice. But the front is very plain, so I could decorate it if I choose to, which I personally will choose to. So now that we've gone through this first journal, let's go ahead and pop into my other option, which is the Minimalist Art journal. This one was a little bit less. I don't think I even paid $15 for this one, But again, it came in a really nice box. I just got their gray color. I almost got a yellow one, but I was afraid it was going to be too mustard. So I didn't opt for that. It does have a wraparound to the outside option as well. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Now the pages in this one are very clearly much more cream colored than the other. Those were much more white. This one does have an index at the front, which is very nice. I do like that that one had a key as opposed to, but yeah, the pages are more creamy and the dots almost feel a tad darker, but I don't think they would necessarily be in the way on this one. Again, the pages are numbered, and again, we do have the dual bookmark here. This one does have more pages. This one's got over 200 pages. We're looking at 230. It does not have a pen test page, but it does have the pocket at the back as well. That's pretty standard in bullet journals these days. So I'm going to take this back page and use that as my pen test. So let's just kind of, I don't remember the order I did things in, but again, I'm just going to write my name a bunch of times. I hope you guys find this interesting, by the way. I will link some of the videos down below that I did watch to narrow it down to these. I'm going to leave some of the top ones so that you guys can get a good feel as to who I was looking at. And they were primarily bullet journal channels that I was looking at on this one. The Copic and the Sharpie. Did I do the Sharpie twice? I might have done the Sharpie twice. But either way, let's get a good feel for this. Okay, so the Sharpie did come through a little more, as well as the Copic is a little clearer. And I feel like there was a tad more ghosting on this one as opposed to the Scribbles that matter. Now, I do like that this is a lot longer for an entire year. So I think I've figured out what I'm going to do. Is, of the two, even though this one has more pages, I am leaning toward the Scribbles that matter. And I might end up using 2 throughout the year because there aren't as many pages. But all in all, I like the features of the Scribbles that matter much better than the Minimalist art. Now, if you are trying to bullet journal on a tight budget, I think I only paid like $13 for this one. And for as cheap as it is, this is an amazing value. You just have to know that you can't use any big, thick markers. And if you stick to fine liners, you should be okay in a journal like this. But if you're hoping for something, you know, that you can be more artistic in, this isn't going to be a good option for you. Where the Scribbles that matter, I think I only paid about $20 for this. So again, it's not a super pricey journal, but I do think you'll get more bang for your buck in this one. And I have to be honest, I do think that the wider pages is what sold me on this particular one, as well as a few of the other features that just aren't on this one. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting. Again, if I had more money, I probably would have ended up in an Archer and Olive. Archer and Olive tends to be one of the more prominent ones in the bullet journaling community, but for my budget, these two were good options, and I just favor the Scribbles that matter. So if you can't afford the few extra dollars for the Scribbles that matter, I highly recommend going for this one. If you can't, this one's going to be solid. Just remember, you can't get too artistic or too layered with it without it coming through the page a bit. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. If you have other journals that you love for people who are tight on a budget, leave them down below because I would love to share that with more people. And again, make sure you check out the description for other videos that I ended up watching to help narrow it down to these two. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.